I wanted to do something a little bit different today, and many of you, if you read my blog, will know I run quite a successful blog club series with blogging tips and lots of hopefully helpful things on there. And lots of people read it weekly and give me really good feedback on the topics and say that it's really helped. And one thing that comes up quite often, and I have written posts on it, is blog conferences. So the biggest one of the year tends to be Brit Moms, and I hear lots of people saying, oh, we're too scared to go to Brit Moms, it's too daunting, and things like that. And I just wanted to really give you a little insight into what going to a blog conference is like and what you might expect and what you can do. And I think that although I have written all this down, I just hope that maybe hearing me say it and hopefully it'll give you just a different opinion of blog conferences and maybe give you a little bit more confidence that you can actually go to them. Anyway, it's worth a try. So firstly, the main ones that I go to each year are Brit Moms, BlogFest, which is the Mumsnet one, Blog Camp, which normally there are at least two, but there are sometimes more specific ones, like there was a business one last year. So Blog Camp is the one that's run by Tots, and all of Blog Camp conferences are also free. So that's Brit Moms, Blog Camp, BlogFest, Blog On, which is run by Tired Mummy of Two, and she runs she runs three now. So she runs Blog On Mosey, which is Manchester. She runs one in Cardiff, or she did last year, and she ran one in Winchester, which was really handy for me because it was only 30 minutes down the road. So they're the ones she ran last year. Now I've booked tickets for Blog On Mosey. The tickets also for Blog On are exceptionally reasonable, so it's an amazing day. You get probably one of the best goodie bags, and in terms of the amount of products that you get, and it's about 30 quid, so it is quite good value, and she always makes sure there's really good speakers on and stuff, which is fabulous. The other ones you can go to, I went to Blogtacular last year, which is quite a creative conference, so lots of people that are not in the parenting niche. There are some, but there are quite a lot of people in interiors or fashion, so it's good for getting another approach that's not directly focused on parenting perhaps. And so the one that's on my hit list for this year, if I can possibly get to it, is actually a weekend, but it's Blogstock. Now I was asked to, it's a festival, so it's a blogging festival, and I was asked to go on behalf of a brand last year and stay in their brand enclosure and things, and unfortunately kind of, we were away reviewing Eurocamp, so I couldn't go, and I hooked up a friend of mine who went, and she said it was amazing. She said there were lots of American speakers, people that in America, they're doing things a little bit ahead of us, so their readership's massive, and typically, and they're just a little bit further forward with the whole blogging scene. And she thought the speakers were amazing and really inspirational and completely different to anything that she'd been to before. So that was August bank holiday weekend, I think, or the beginning of September, but it was really inspirational, so that is definitely on my list. And what else is there? So there are smaller ones. So Nufnang, they did a workshop that I went to. It wasn't a conference per se, but it was a workshop with 3 really good bloggers, vloggers, podcasters, and it was probably the best thing I've ever been to. It was brilliant, and it gave me so many ideas and was fabulous. And sometimes when you go to these things, if you're not a total newbie, it can be stuff you've heard before, and although it's really good to get other perspectives on things, sometimes the best thing I take away from conferences is just the opportunity to meet other bloggers. So if you're considering going to, so that's just a brief, there are many other ones. There's Blog Nix, which was in January, and there's quite a lot of smaller ones that keep on popping up, but they're the main ones that people will go to. And I think the biggest thing about going to a conference is literally just the opportunity to speak to people. So you get to talk to people that you've known online. And a tip I would say is to really just connect with some people. So say, is anyone going to Brit Moms? I mean, I had people last year. I feel quite passionately about the fact that people should go if they want to, but and not be scared. They shouldn't let fear put them off going to something that's can be so beneficial. So last year, a couple of people on Twitter were saying they were nervous, or I read their blog, and then I offered to say, well, meet up with us. It was for Brit Moms, and I said, come to the pub before, meet us all there, come in with us, hang around with us. And one lady, Lizzie, actually booked a hotel in the same booked a room in the same hotel we were staying in, and she just came along with us all weekend, and she's a friend of ours now. So things can happen that are really, really, really good if you just step out of your comfort zone. No one is going to think horrible things. Even if you walk into a room on your own, and just start talking to someone, that you can probably guarantee that they'll still feel exactly like you, and they just want to talk to someone, and nobody's going to be thinking, oh, look at her, anything like that. It's not the playground. It's just a place that like-minded people come together and try and learn and try and inspire each other and get inspiration from the speakers. So, but yeah, the tip would be to just connect with people. So if you've got regular people that you speak to on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, just say, is anyone going to this, or go into one of the groups, is anyone going to Brit Moms? People will say, you'll probably get offers to meet up. It's simple as that. It really is simple as that. So Brit Moms is slightly different this year in as much as there's no going to the pub for lunch before the first half day. But still, people will meet you at the train station. You can always see the bloggers wandering around and trying to figure out where to go. So that's fine. Do that. When you're there, try and chat to the brands if there are any brands there. It's really good just to, you can email them, but actually just them seeing your face and putting a face to your blog is really important and can lead to more stuff. And it's just a foot in the door, and it's a really easy way a no pressure way to talk to brands. That's what they're there for. They're there to talk to bloggers. So, make the most of it. So that's another idea. And to write down, it sounds quite a bit too prepared, but try, and if you've got a list of people you really like to meet in your head, write it down, because when you get to that blog conference, it will be like a whirlwind of excitement and good stuff. Don't get me wrong, but you will probably forget who was on your list, and then when you're on the train on the way home, think, oh, I really wanted to try and catch up with whoever it is. So it's really important, I think, just to have a little jotted down note somewhere. When you're planning what you're taking, a notebook, there's always paper there, but take your own notebook, pen. You don't have to take a laptop. You don't have to take your DSLR if you don't want to. It is heavy to lug around, but it just depends are you going to write it up? Would snaps from your iPhone be good enough, or do you want to take your big camera? Mine changes. Sometimes I take my big camera if I think that I'm going to be meeting people that we want to take pictures together for other things. So quite a lot of people took pictures at Brit Moms for their blog, so they got other bloggers to take pictures of their, so they could use them for profile pictures. With Live Love Blog, our collaborative blogging blog, we took pictures at Brit Moms of us 3 editors together, because it's the only chance we get to take pictures together. So that's a good idea as well. If you're going to be doing a project with someone and it would be quite nice to have a joint picture, think about that. So maybe not many of you would do that, but think about it and use that opportunity to get some snaps, or just get snaps of everyone having fun, because that's what happens most of the time. So plan what you want to go and watch and what you want to go and listen to. So some conferences just have one timetable for everyone to go to. Others you have to pick. So just think about the speakers, think about maybe what you've heard about before, and what direction you want to take your blog in, and what you need to do in order to do that. So if you want to do more vlogging, or if you want to start a podcast or whatever, go to the sessions that will help you do that. So not necessarily where people you've met on the train are going, but just think, you know what, I want to get the best out of this. So even if it means sitting on my own, which it won't, but I'm going to go and figure that out. Ask questions of people. So Don't be afraid to stick your hand up in a session and ask, because the whole purpose of the conference is to help bloggers. So please don't feel bad about asking anyone anything, because that's what they're there for. They're there to help you. So that is a little bit about blog conferences. I'm not sure if it's been helpful. What I will do is I'll put the link on the screen up there somewhere to the post I've written about preparing for a blog conference. I've also written one about how to secure blog conference sponsorship. I've secured Brit Moms quite easily for the last 2 years, so I'll probably watch this month. This year I won't get any, but I didn't find it that hard, and I explained what I did in order to get that conference sponsorship, so I'll try and link that as well. If not up there, I'll link it underneath the video. And if you want to hear about anything else blogging wise, please leave a message in the comments and I'll try and blog those things. I think they're all written down on various blogs, and mine included, but sometimes hearing someone give the advice in situations especially like this where you're attending an event might just give you that little bit more confidence. So but please go to the blog conferences, go to all the ones you can. I'm going to, let me have the list, I'm going to Blog Camp in Birmingham in May. I'm going to Blog on Mosey in Manchester in May. I'm going to Brit Moms in June in London. They're the only ones I've booked, but I will be going to Blogstock if I can, which I think is Hertfordshire somewhere, maybe. I will go to Blogfest in October, November time for Mumsnet, and no doubt there'll be other things that I'll go to as well through the year, because it's just such a good opportunity to meet your fellow bloggers. And if you've never met your fellow bloggers, they will become your friends and you will be so inspired by them. You will wish you've done it earlier. So that's all I'm going to say today. So I've been waffling on for too long. I hope it was a little bit helpful. Okay then, bye.